called out a few, but he did not call out Lamar or Patty. He said they're actually game changers. They're dynamic, right? Was Cam Newton correct in his assessment of who is a game manager?
Yeah, for the most part, I would agree with him. And he said the examples he used was Jared Goff,
Yep,
Tua Tonga Bailoa,
yep,
and those two you just named.
yep.
And I think what most people, like I told you off air, most people got up in arms is the Dak, and it's just because they seen him throw for 4,000 yards. I'm like, okay, he could be a 4,000-yard game manager. I don't know why y'all acting like just because you go past a certain amount of yards that change the what style of quarterback you are.
Yes.
But by definition, how he explained it is, I'm out by game manager. I'm asking you not for you to lose this game. Basically, I'm asking you to go out there and manage the game and don't turn the ball over. Versus a game changer is going to go out there and be a difference maker and take risks in order to win the game, which we see a lot with Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons. He mentioned also wide receivers and running backs, like because the whole conversation really was centered around who's your MVP right now. Right. That's what started it. And he said, if I was picking a game manager, I'm picking Jared Goff because he felt like he was for the way he manages his game out of the quarterbacks that are game manager, he's the most important to his team, which I understood what he was saying by that. Yeah. But he said if he had to just pick like game changer for MVP, he picking Christian McCaffrey. And I think the difference between what the thing is, he was like, Dak, I would say, is a game manager because they're asking him not to do too much. And I would agree. When you look at Dak and you see the best times Dak is being the best version of himself, he's sitting there being methodical, not turning the ball over, making the right throws at the right time, and scoring the ball and letting your playmakers make plays. You got Tony Pollard. You got that. I can't forget the dude with the locks, not CD, but you got CD as well. But the other dude with the locks that's fast in the mug. Like, you got weapons all over the field. Use your weapons and win the game. Don't turn the ball over because we know when Dak tends to try to win games with his arm and be big play Dak, he tends to have 2 to 3 turnover games. And that's what he shows you that he's not really a difference maker. He's more of a game manager. So I would say he was pretty spot on with what he was saying.
Here, my problem with, first of all, Cam Newton, first of all, has all the credibility in the world. You're talking about a formerly NFL MVP. You're talking about a Heisman candidate, right? He didn't win.
Heisman candidate, a national championship winner.
Right. You're talking about somebody who has stats. You're talking about a man who took a very
poverty-stricken franchise. I'm gonna say it for you. You was I see it in your spirit. You was trying to be nice. No, say what it was.
And took them all the way to the Super Bowl. And I don't care what you say. No other quarterback in any era could have done it with that.
He wasn't a pocket passer,
right? And no lineman. I mean, his best player was Greg Olsen,
and he was old,
right? So I mean, it's what Cam has accomplished. It still should be in the NFL, and still should be. And I would say if there are quarterbacks who have started.
I'm gonna just be like, I was never the biggest Cam fan, and it wasn't really because I didn't like the way he played. It was based on his whole career as him. He was completely just depending on full potential and his raw athleticism, and he never really worked on his athleticism, his arm strength. I mean, his arm accuracy. And I was like, eventually, one day, you're not going to be able to run, dog, and your accuracy is not as good as what you think it is. You know, you're going to have to work with it.
I think the Cam legacy, I think that's part of it. I think the other thing is Cam's not a
what you would list as a prototypical quarterback.
Right. He doesn't fit the NFL criteria. Cam is outspoken. Cam is flamboyant at times. Cam's boisterous. He's gonna speak his mind. I remember when he got into it with Kelsey Benjamin, right?
Calvin
Benjamin, yeah.
It was. I remember it was weird because his name was with a K.
Right. Calvin. And then man got like traded. Like it's just Cam is going to be Cam, and for the NFL, which is a super conservative, like in the NBA, he'd be perfect. He'd be a superstar.
Perfect, yeah.
But in the NFL,
that position, that's no.
Right,
that's no unless you Tom Brady.
Tom, and not even Tom's not, but Tom.
No, but because I'm telling you, every time you can compare it from, because to me, I put it like this: you got, because I can always compare them because you got your Tom Brady's,
right,
and then you guys like your Phillip Rivers. Tom Brady is the type of quarterback where he wears emotions on his sleeve.
Right.
If he's pumped, you're gonna see it. If he's mad, he might throw a little temper tantrum. He might throw a tablet. He might cuss out his coach or his teammates.
Right.
But the difference between that versus if you see, like you just said, you seen Patrick Mahomes go do it, and everybody was in that mode. He's crying. He needs to stop crying. He's crying. Right. But when it's Tom, it's fiery. Look at the passion on his face. But then, you got like your Phillip Rivers, who I would kind of compare to like a Cam Newton. The reason I do, because Phillip Rivers will talk trash to you in the most holiest way, but he would talk trash to you the whole game, and he would do little things, little stuff. But let somebody like Cam sit there and dance in your face and talk trash too. Oh, I don't know if he's good for this. I don't know if that's what a leader does. I don't know if that's what you like. When it comes to that, like, bro, like, he already don't fit, like you said, he already don't fit the prototypical mold. He already don't fit the normal stance of what a normal human being will look like or dress like. He already is outspoken. It's just like he falls for everything those people don't like. And that's the only thing it comes to about it. Because other people of other races or quarterbacks love the exact same thing, but their labels change.
Which goes to my point. Cam would still be in the NFL if he looked different. And that's just the truth of the matter. I think Cam Newton is a Hall of Famer. I think Cam Newton should be in the NFL. I think we have seen quarterbacks that can't manage, can't win, get, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. I'm seeing now new quarterbacks with, agents that look like, I don't even know, like the DeVitos of the world, and no shot to him, but it's like, okay.
The only get back I got, it's just because with him, and it's not even a disservice to him, but it kind of is. I just don't feel like he worked on his he at a certain point of his career when he first started to get hurt a little bit too much. He should have realized I need to sharpen up on my throwing skills because that's what's going to keep me in the league. And I just don't think he didn't. And I also felt like the teams did him a disservice because they was running him entirely too much. Like, I understand the man was 6'5", 250, but my quarterback is 6'3", 230, and I hate when they call QB draws. You know why? Because that's the more that's the most highest percentage chance of you getting smoked by a D tackle or a linebacker. Versus if you bust him out to the left, you're probably getting tackled by a DB, which is more manageable.
Here's why I think Cam didn't. I'm gonna give Cam the benefit of a doubt without knowing Cam. He didn't have the talent to do that. He didn't have the line to do that. And
I give you that though.
When you are super athletic, I mean the most athletic quarterback ever, from everything. That's speed. I mean, Vic was super fast, but not like super like imposing, right?
Yeah, he wasn't big.
Yeah. It's hard not to go to default and be like, you know what? I'm gonna just run this thing in myself. So
I mean, yeah.
And I think Cam sacrificed years out of frustration. And this is why coaching matters. if you great example, Tony Romo. If Tony Romo is not a Cowboy and Tony Romo is the quarterback for the Detroit Lions,
garbage.
Right. So your situation matters. Not that he wasn't, but the environment, what comes with it. And I think Cam was in an organization that was going just through a lot, and it's still going through a lot. They had yeah. So
I agree with that. I just think the only thing with me is like it's just too many. Well, not at the time it wasn't, but it's too many examples. Like Josh Allen's example. Like, yeah, there's times where he gets into a thing like, why are you trying to strip away what I'm good at? If I'm going to run, I'm gonna take it, and even to some degree with Justin. But I think the reason why a lot of Bears fans don't want Justin to go versus somebody like Cam, if